Okay, everyone. Today we're going to talk about purpose and audience, two important graphic design principles. And there's some essential questions we need to talk about here. I need you to make sure you understand at the end of this video what we mean when we talk about the purpose of a graphic design project, and how does knowing the purpose of the project help you make decisions about the design, and how does purpose relate to knowing your audience. Now, after you watch this video, you'll then need to go over and in Google Classroom and click over to this this test right here, this quiz, and it'll ask you a series of questions that will test how well you were paying attention and how well you can really apply these principles that you've been learning here. So I have some two general questions with like paragraph answers, and then we'll have a bunch of examples of ads right here and ask you some questions about purpose and audience related to each ad. So pay close attention so you're ready to do that. Now, I'm going to talk about this by looking at a series of ads. So first, we're going to look at this ad. Now, if you look at this ad here, it's an ad from a magazine, and you'll see that the ad has two parts here. Has this guy who's staying here in this area looking down at nothing. Then it has a guy who's looking at a dog, and it says, "Dog makes your life happier. Adopt." So, talking about purpose. Now, when you first look at this, you might think that the purpose of this ad is to get you to adopt, because it says adopt right here, right? So this guy's looks kind of lonely, lots of grays and stuff here, and he's looking at this dog, this not dog, right? This area there's no dog at, and then a dog appears, and you see the difference between life without a dog and life with a dog. Now the ad's trying to say that life with the dog is better. You know, that with the dog, this picture isn't as empty, right? There's an emptiness right here. His eye line takes us to an empty place. Here, his eye line takes us to an image of a dog. So having the dog, you could say, makes him happier. He looks more fulfilled and complete, and therefore we should all adopt. So you could say the purpose of this ad is to get us to adopt. Now, I might agree with that, if not for this up in the corner. Up in the corner, it has the Pedigree logo, who make dog food. So, I would say, so then we start wondering, wait a second. If Pedigree is paying money to get this ad in existence, I don't know if Pedigree's motive as a company is really to get us to adopt dogs as much as it is to buy their products. So maybe what this is really about is about Pedigree wanting us to adopt dogs so that we'll buy their dog food and feed it to our dogs we adopt. Now, and it's also to help us think of Pedigree as a company with a better idea. Like we see Pedigree, so man, Pedigree is such a good company. They're trying to get people to adopt dogs, trying to help old men by the beach be happier and have more companionship in their life, and trying to help all these dogs have companionship too, right? And we think good, happy things about Pedigree as a company, and we'll want to buy their food when we adopt our dog. So I would say that with this ad here, the purpose is to get us to see Pedigree as a company as in a good way and get us to want to buy their food. Now the target audience relates to purpose, right? So every ad has a purpose. It's trying to reach someone to get them to do something. But there's always a certain audience it's trying to reach. In this case, the audience might be older people. This guy has gray hair. Older people later in their lives who are lonely, or maybe just other lonely people in general who are looking for something to fill their life up so they don't feel so lonely and empty, perhaps. Okay, let's look at the next ad and talk about purpose and audience. Okay, this ad is fun. All right, if you look really closely at it, it's really when you look at an ad to think about where your eye goes first. That's a really good technique. So I look at this, my eye goes to this first, right? To this text right here at this big shoe, right? And then I look down and see what's down here. I look at this logo next because it's big, and then I look at this and I look at these details and I read this down here. So I'm gonna go through the process of looking at this ad. It says, "I vote, I give blood, I Tom's shoe." So I vote, I give blood, I Tom's. Okay. Now I like this because it's very simple, right? There's just black everywhere here, some text, the shoe, this nice little reflection above the shoe just makes it a little more interesting than a shoe by itself. That's a nice little, but it doesn't keep it from being simple and nice. So this is a very simple, nice ad. Then it has, these lines here that make this part easier to look at. And it says, for every pair purchased, Tom gives a pair of shoes to a child in need, 1 for 1. And then it has this. And then it says Tom's, has some shoes here. Now, this is interesting. It has a logo on here of the Republican Party, or sorry, the Democratic Party on the left, then the Republican Party on the right. So there's like this vote thing going on, right? This ad came out during an election. So it's saying like, oh, voting's a good thing. Voting's good. Everyone should vote because that's good for the world. And giving blood is good too. Giving blood's good for the world. And buying Toms is good too because every time you buy one, you help a child in need. So voting and giving blood and buying Toms are all the same thing. They feel the same way. That's interesting. So when you look at this ad, there's this sense of purpose going on here, right? Like I vote, I give blood, I Toms. That's interesting, right? The sense of like if you do these things, you will have greater purpose in your life, right? Because voting gives you purpose in life, giving blood gives purpose in life, getting Toms gives you purpose in life, and then it has this nice little thing where it lets you vote on if you like red or blue Toms better. Which meaning which party you like better, right? And if you get 50% off your purpose, right? So this ad is something really interesting. Its purpose is to get you to buy Toms, and it's going to get you to buy Toms by helping you see buying Toms as adding purpose and meaning to your life, just like voting and giving blood does, or buying Toms is a way to help other people, right? You feel good you're helping other people, but if that doesn't quite get you to buy the Toms, you'll also get 15% off. So there's an economic motive too. So you'll feel good, you'll help other people, and you'll get 15% off. Dang, there you go. Buying Toms is just the best thing. Now, I'm not going to talk right now about who the audience of this is. In the quiz you're going to take, it's going to talk about audience on this one. So go ahead and take what I said here, and then when you get to the quiz question about this, you'll be able to tie in what I just said with audience. Okay, this one is really fun. So this is another like comparison one, like the one we saw earlier with the old man. So you have my eye. Look at this. My eye goes right here first because all of this is the same, and this is the only thing that's different, right? It's just the same water, but this is different. So I see the difference first, right? There's a shark fin here, no shark fin here. Shark fin says horrifying, right? Because ever since the Jaws movie came out, the shark fin in the water is a symbol of being afraid of sharks going to eat you, right? So, horrifying shark fin. This appeals to the common ideas about sharks and about shark fins and stuff. It's a common symbol that makes sense to people. Then over here, there's nothing right here. More horrifying. Whoa, so even more horrifying as a shark is no sharks. You might think to yourself, wait, what's that about? So then your eye goes down here and it says, exploiting the ecosystem also threatens human lives. And it has this WWF organization. It says for a living planet. Go to their website. So WWF is an organization that you can look up and see what the acronym stands for if you want to go the extra mile here. And this organization, though, I'll tell you right now, is an environmental organization if you didn't figure that out. So this environmental organization wants you to go to their website. That's what the purpose of this ad is to get you to go to their website. So you're going to look here and see this image that really draws your attention because it's horrifying. Then think, wait, not having a shark fin is more horrifying? How would that be more horrifying? Oh, because sharks might threaten humans' lives, but killing sharks and not having sharks in the water anymore would threaten us even more. Well, how would that be? Well, I don't know. Maybe I should go to their website. So then you go to their website, right? Let's just give this a test, actually. www.org. Go over to their website, and when I get here, it has some things about all the things they're doing to like help different kinds of ecosystems. So if I go here, I'm gonna get more educated, right? I'm gonna be like, oh man, these are all the things I need to do to help the ecosystem, help the world. So that instead of buying something, these guys want me to do something. They want me to go out and become educated about the environment and help. Also, though, this donate button's pretty big up here. So they do want me to give money to them help these organizations, help these animals and things. So here's an example of an ad whose purpose isn't just, getting you to buy something, but getting you to help with a cause. So the purpose doesn't always have to be to buy something, although that's very common in advertising because we live in a capitalist society. But the purpose can also be to like be part of a cause or do something or act in some way. Just the ads always want to get you to do something, often buy something, but sometimes something else. Okay, this ad's fun. It says, sorry for the bad resolution here, but it says, Mr. Ferrari drives a Fiat, period. Then it has a picture of this guy who I guess is supposed to be Mr. Ferrari standing in front of a Fiat. And then it has a bunch of text here that says stuff about how Mr. Ferrari, takes his girl out in his Fiat and has a good time and stuff like that. Now, in order to understand this ad and its purpose, you have to understand a little bit about Ferraris and Fiats. So Ferrari is traditionally like the coolest, fastest European car, car that comes from Europe to us. But Fiats, back when this ad were made, were trying to challenge Ferrari as the cool car, right? From Europe. They both come from Europe. So if you look at this, if you're someone who likes Europe, you're going to notice something here. These cobblestones on the ground of this road, in Europe, the roads are made, instead of just solid asphalt, the roads are made of cobblestones that go in these circular patterns. So one thing, this picture is very much set in Europe. So if you're someone who's into being like cultured and having the cool European car, you're going to notice that. And you're going to say, oh, look, this is in Europe. And that's going to make you feel good about Europe stuff. And then you're going to see this guy here who then identifies Mr. Ferrari. Notice that the man is standing underneath the name. So you have Mr. Ferrari here and him below it. That helps you know, oh, that's Mr. Ferrari. Drives a Fiat. Oh, that's the Fiat. So the words are connecting to the person in the car. So that helps us there to know what we're looking at. Another thing you're going to notice here when you look at this is that this guy is called Mr. Ferrari, and so he must be like the expert on Ferraris, I guess. I don't know. But if Mr. Ferrari is driving a Fiat, then that means that that someone named Ferrari, who must live in Italy or something, right, with that kind of name. He's a European dude. Someone named Ferrari likes driving a Fiat even more than the car named the same name as him. So that must be that Fiats are even cooler than Ferraris, right? So the purpose of this ad is to get you to buy a Fiat, right? And the audience it's trying to reach out to, the group of people it wants to buy a Fiat are people that are really into European cars. Probably older people. Notice that he has a balding head with white hair. Older people, usually young people don't buy expensive cars. They don't have enough money to. It's actually older people who buy expensive cars. And if you read the text in here, it talks about how he takes his Mrs. Ferrari out on a nice night in the town, right? So you might be looking at older people who want to feel young, right? Like he's wearing cool glasses and stuff, right? He's an older guy who wants to feel young. He's going to feel young by feeling all European and awesome in his cool Fiat car, which is cooler than the Ferrari, taking his wife out in the town because he can still have a good time, right? So we're trying to get older people who think European cars are cool to realize they should be going after the Fiat deal with the midlife crisis, not going after Ferrari to deal with their midlife crisis. So that's what we got going on here. So audience, older people who have lots of money, who might be more intelligent, more knowledgeable about like international car things, think Europe is cool. These kind of people are going to get them to buy a Fiat instead of a Ferrari. Now, this one here is a menu, right? So menus have a purpose too, right? The menu's purpose though isn't so much it's not like an advertisement to get you to go to the restaurant, because by the time you look at the menu, you're already at the restaurant usually. So it's not an advertisement to get you to go to the restaurant. It's just helping you decide which thing at the restaurant to buy. So the purpose of this isn't so much to get you to buy something as it is to help you buy something so that you'll have a good experience at the restaurant, right? So that you'll want to come back again. So if you look here, right, you have all the different menu items listed out here, and you have the dollar amounts listed here, right? And notice that the menu items are really big and the dollar amounts really big. This thing is using size and color to make it easy to look at what you need. So the biggest headings are red, and they're the largest, and they're in this like fancy font that has these these cool little design, these cool 3D effects to them. And they're the biggest. So when I look at this, my brain can easily go, oh, burgers, barbecue sandwiches, hot dogs, fries, shakes and drinks. So it makes it really easy for me to see the categories so that it's easy for me to figure out what I want to buy. Then under each category, it has big giant text for the name of the sandwich or the name of the item, then big giant text for the price. It makes it very easy for me to decide, okay, I have so much money I want to spend today. Which do I want to buy? And make some choices. Then in smaller text, it says what the item actually is, because I'm not going to look at that until I've decided something. So I'm look over this. I'm like, oh, I really want a veggie burger because I'm into plant-based stuff and I'm some kind of hipster or something. And I'm looking under here and I'm like, oh, look at this. Now I know what the veggie burger is. Here's the description of what's on it, right? Because I'm not going to look at this part, this smaller part, until I've already looked at the price and what the item is. And then sometimes it has these little red things underneath. They're just that are red just to make them stand out, so they look different than what it makes it easier to see. And they just have like some things you could add on, perhaps, right? These green lines here make it easy to organize the information as well, easy to see the things. This green and red here is just attractive. You have the name of the restaurant. I want to make sure you remember where you are, so you want to come back. These little things here, it says smoked fresh every day, ground fresh every day. These are just little things that help us go, whoa, this restaurant's awesome. So we want to come back again. They have the Coca-Cola logo here stood out. I'm not sure exactly why they did that. Maybe Coca-Cola, they're advertising Coca-Cola or something, or they know people like Coca-Cola. I'm not sure. And then over here, they have this special thing that has its own special thing around it. It's a special kind of hamburger that's held out away from these ones, right? Fridays only. So only on Fridays you're going to come and get this. And it's a special thing just on Fridays. So I don't know exactly why they put this out, but maybe it's so that if you come on a day that's not Friday, you'll see this and go, man, I got to come back on Friday because on Friday I have this really special burger that's super duper cheap. I got to be sure to come back on Friday. And it's going to help you want to come back again the next time. So the layout of this menu is designed in a way to accomplish a purpose. The purpose is to make it easy to navigate and see what items you want to buy, so you'll have a positive experience while you're there, so you'll want to come back again. And that's extra emphasized by this little thing in the corner that makes you want to come back maybe on Friday night. And so that is the purpose. The audience would be, the people who are at this restaurant trying to get them to come back. The audience might be the kinds of people who like this kind of food, right? So the kinds of people that like burgers and barbecue sandwiches and hot dogs, the kind of people that like this kind of restaurant are the audience. And there might be things going on with the design of this menu that are appealing to that audience. If this isn't a fancy looking menu, this has very blocky shapes. Like this text is very squarish. This shape here is very square with rounded edges, but it's squarish, right? Not too square though, it's a little bit rounded. And it's very simple, and the colors are very, the colors aren't fancy, right? They're very like hamburger kind of colors, right? If this were a fancy restaurant that was trying to appeal to a different audience, people that like fancy restaurants, it might have more like elegant text, like cursive text with like nice curves everywhere. But it's not. This is people that like burgers and sandwiches and hot dogs, right? With the occasional hipster wants a veggie burger. And so these guys are going to, their text is going to be a lot more, it's a lot blockier text, so like reds and like teals and things. So you have, so they're taking their audience into account in the way they design the logos and the colors and the text. Now, here's another piece of graphic design. This guy here is a threefold flyer for a beauty salon, for a spa center. Sorry, not beauty salon, that's different. It's spa center. Now, this image here has a purpose. This guy here has a purpose. And this guy also has a audience. Now we're trying to figure out the purpose. We can see here that what it says. Spa. Now if I look at this, my eye first goes up here actually. My eye looks at the image up top. Then my eye goes down here to the biggest text. Spa center with us spend happiness. Then I just kind of moves around over here to this other text. Go up here, see the logo. Okay, then I go up here, then down here, then down here. That's what my eye does. So I get up here, has some information to contact them at. Then it has so I don't even understand what this is, but they they say why us, and apparently they have some information that I don't completely understand. This kind of looks like nonsense, but maybe someone else understands it about what this treatment they do that's really cool. Then it says help make your life easier. So the fact that it says spa center with us send happiness makes me think that they're trying to get you to go to the spa center. So I don't on the other side of this, the other side of the trifold probably has a bunch of information about their spa center, what it's like to be there. But they're this lady looks really happy. Looks like she's having a really good time at the spa center. She's a very attractive, kind of sexy looking lady. So there's this idea that like if you come to our spa center, you're gonna feel really good and you're gonna walk away looking really sexy, like she does, right? And there's some stuff here that like some incense and some Buddhist flowers. So lotus flowers are a Buddhist symbol here, and some very rustic looking stuff. So there's this is a lotus flower here, which is like a Buddhist symbol of meditation and peace. So there's a strong sense here of like, oh, you're gonna feel so relaxed and peaceful here and become beautiful. And I don't know if they're taking this into account, but the lotus flowers also has some symbols of like rebirth and things in Buddhism. So there's and some sense of like having beauty and birth and wonderfulness in the sense of like an ugly and evil world. So there's some sense here of like, being reborn spiritually as well. The lines here are very curved with some straightness here, but it's a lot of curves. These curves are very easy on the eye. There's actually a lotus flower kind of shape that comes in down here with those lines. And yeah, so I would say here the purpose of this is to get you to come to the spa center. Now, the reason a trifold, this kind of flyer called trifold flyer that would fold here and here, and folds up into a nice, when you look at it, you would just see this on the front, and then this would be the back, and this would fold into the inside, and there'd be some other stuff on the other side you can look at. Trifolds do a good job of giving you lots of information. On the other side of this trifold, they can put a ton of text. So a trifold, when you first get it, you just see this page, and you look at it and you go, oh, wow, I can see this nice lady who looks really relaxed and stuff. That's really cool. Look at her. And I look at this, and I think how nice this looks. And then, I can look at the back, and then I can look at this side, and then I can look at the inside and get more text. So as I fold the trifold different ways, I can get different pieces of information about them. It starts out very simple, and it becomes more complex. So a trifold is different than a poster or a magazine ad, and that a poster or magazine ad is just saying, hey, this is cool. But this says, hey, this is cool. Now look and read more to find out why it's cool. So trifold is like an advertisement, lets you give more information about the thing. So if we were to flip this over and see the other side of this, you would see more information about, I'm running out of battery. More information about this beauty salon and what makes them so awesome. Now, and so the purpose is to get you to go to the beauty salon, and the audience is probably ladies, I'm guessing, who want to be rejuvenated and be sexy and stuff like that. Okay, final thing to look at today. This is a magazine ad in a gaming magazine. And you'll notice that you look and you just see this right here. Like when you look at this, you instantly see this. I mean, not a magazine ad. Sorry, this is a magazine article. When I look at it, my eye instantly goes to here. When I'm looking through a magazine, right, there's lots of things I could read. And so each article wants to get you to read their article. When I open up this page, I'm going to see this guy right in the middle and be like, whoa, that looks cool. Look at him. I can see look at his face is looking at me. That gets my attention. And he's a really cool looking guy with a big gun. That's awesome looking. Then I'm going to look around here and look at all the stuff around it and read it. And the fact that it's at a slant makes it more interesting to look at than a usual magazine ad that's just sort of like boring and flat. Like the slant makes it more interesting to look at. It might make it a little harder to read, but it makes it more interesting to look at. So hopefully you're going to read it. And then when you read it, you're going to learn about this game, Gears of War. Now, this isn't a magazine ad, this is a magazine article, but its purpose is still to sell us something, right? Its purpose, the article is being written to get us to buy the company that makes the magazine, to get us to want to buy and play Gears of War. So Sorry, I was just plugging in this computer so that it doesn't die. Anyways, so we have this article has the pages that follow this has 100 images and has a bunch of an interview with people at Epic Games about this game. So this is going to get your attention. So you look at it, then you flip the next page, and it's going to give you more, you're going to see images and learn more about the game so that you'll want to buy it and play it. Now, the audience here is clearly gamers, right? People that play games. And particularly people that want to play the kinds of games that have big, scary dudes with sci-fi weapons and like saws in the front of their guns that look all awesome and cool. And thus the font is very like it looks rugged, right? Like a war. Like this font itself has been through war, and the background is red, catches your eye, and has lots of it's the color of blood, and has lots of like ruggedness to it, right? There's lots of texture in here that feels very like rugged and like just like the font does. So this first page of this magazine article is going to get your attention if you're a gamer person, and get you to who likes this kind of game, and get you to look through and read about this game so that you will want to buy it, hopefully. And that's what it's doing. Okay, that's everything I have for you today. So, the next step is to go and do the quiz that's attached to this assignment, and which will require you to think about what you've been hearing about how purpose and audience factor into the design of ads. And I hope that beyond that, though, that having looked at these examples will help you get ideas when you make your own piece of graphic design in this class. You'll have ideas to help you think about, okay, who am I trying to reach with this graphic design? What do I want them to do when they look at this graphic design? And then when they do it, what I'm going to do, and then what I want them to do, and then how do I design the ad in a way that's going to best reach that person and get them to do the thing I want them to do. I hope also that you'll notice that a lot of these ads you've looked at today are very simple, right? Good ads are simple. They don't have a lot going on. They don't have a lot of different colors. They just have a few colors, and they very simply do what they need to do. Simple, not a lot of words, just straightforward, gets the job done. Each of them only has a couple colors on the screen at a time, and it's very clear what you're supposed to look at, and they're simple and effective. I hope that you're noticing that as well. You don't need to make your ad all complicated and crazy. Just keep it simple. All right, that's all for you today that I have, and enjoy the quiz and enjoy your big design project. Thank you very much. I'm going to log off now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Goodbye.